Okay guys, we're going to have a look in this video at the Bitmap Brothers Collection 1 for the Evercade. Let's get stuck into it. Okay guys, the Bitmap Brothers collection for the Evercade. Really excited for this one because I was a huge Speedball 2 fan back in the day. Now this includes 5 games, obviously not a huge amount, but there's some really decent games in here even though it's only 5. See, Bitmap Brothers were a sort of huge sort of British company that made games initially for the Atari ST and the Amiga. That's really what they were famed for. They were huge back in the day. There's a few games obviously I would have loved to have seen on here, like Gods and Magic Pockets for example. They were really good ones, but you know, maybe we'll see them one day on another cart. So we've got Speedball, which is the Master System version, which is the first Master System game on the Evercade. We have Xenon 2 Mega Blast, which is a shooter, Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe, which is really cool, and Chaos Engine and Speedball 2100, which is a PlayStation game. So it might be one of the few reasons that there's so few games on the cart, because obviously the PlayStation games do take up quite a lot of memory as opposed to some of the sort of other carts. Quick look at the cart itself. So you can see it's really nice design. Bitmap Brothers Collection 1. It's got their logo and stuff on here. Rated 12. Not really sure what they're all about. Have a quick look at the manual. So here's the lovely manuals that are a really nice touch. You've got a little bit about the Bitmap Brothers if you really want to read that. I love the design of the manuals. Sometimes the writing are a bit small, I think, but yeah, the design is fantastic. Lots of great details. I would highly recommend everyone and anyone to sort of read these. There's a lot of tips on how to actually play the games, and sometimes that's actually quite important, and all the lot of details that are in some of the games, especially sort of Speedball 2. There's a few things that really you need to know, but I'll explain that as I'm playing the game. The amazing Chaos Engine. This is the SNES version, of course, which I think is probably the better version than the Mega Drive one. Ideally it would have been nice to see the Amiga versions. I think they're probably the best versions, but as you've probably seen the gameplay, I think the versions are actually pretty good that we have actually got. They've definitely picked the right ones. Anyway, nice little manual. Let's have a look at the games briefly on the handheld first. Just having a quick sort of brief look at the games playing on the handheld before we sort of start, just to see how well it runs, and it seems actually quite good so far. Oh. It sounds really nice too, probably a little bit too loud. You see, it actually seems quite good, but what we're going to do is we're going to kick it onto the VS and have a look how it runs on the VS and give the proper review that way. Let's get stuck into that, guys. Okay guys, here we have it, the 5 games. I think we'll probably just start with the original Speedball, which is the first Master System game on the Evercade. Let's have a go. I don't think it's a particularly great game, to be honest. I think it's the second game that's the iconic one, but yeah, let's have a look at it anyway. Interestingly, they chose the Master System version. There are a few versions, C64 and NES, and obviously the Amiga versions, which I guess Amiga versions would have been great here, but I don't think we'll not dwell too much on that. Let's just enjoy what we've got right here. Speedball. All the way back to 1990. So we've got some options: demo game, 2-player game, which is interesting, and 1-player knockout. And you've got choices of characters. Not sure what difference it makes really. Power, skill. And let's go. Not as many players in the original sort of Speedball game. It does move a little bit more sluggish, so I'm sort of playing as the green players. Ooh. So you kind of slide by pressing the sort of A button. if you sort of look at it, the best thing about this, you can check the controls. You've got the slide, throw ball, tackle. I mean, it's just the same A or B. So I've got it on original ratio. So I just think that the pixel perfect sort of gives a sort of rather large border. And I think it actually looks fine in the original ratio, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think this is the greatest game. It just moves that a little bit sluggish. It's not perfect at all. Interesting to sort of decide to add this, but I guess it's the history, isn't it? It's definitely fascinating to sort of see. This is a reasonably decent version, I think. Oh, I've got a goal. So you can see that there's a lot of things missing here. You can see the score only appears in the middle there. It's not constantly on the screen. Like in the second game, there's a bar at the bottom so you know what the actual score is. But yeah, it's not amazing. It's okay for the one player. You might actually have better joy playing against a human opponent, I think. But it's okay. There's not really a lot to see in this game. It's quite basic. I think what we'll do now is maybe jump on to the second game and you'll see a massive difference in sort of sound effects and all sorts. And sort of speed as well. Obviously it's been Speedball, this is kind of a slow ball. Yeah, let's move on to Speedball 2. So we'll come back to Speedball 2100 in a little minute. I want to sort of do it in the right order. Obviously Speedball 2 was the next game, which obviously was originally on the Atari ST and Amiga. And those games are obviously well received and everyone sort of loved them and still love them, and I definitely do. I played the C64 version myself most and played it constantly, absolutely loved it. Really amazing game. But the Mega Drive version we have here is pretty good. It's not the best version, it's missing a few sort of subtle things here and there. Oops. Well, let's start. Year 2095, not long ago. Okay, you've got your options. 2-player game again. You can play another human opponent. Fantastic. Multiplayer. You can play a demo game or jump straight into a 1-player. You get options between League, Cup, Practice. And generally, you can maybe just jump into a knockout game. It's just like a knockout cup. And you obviously you're Brutal Deluxe because that's what the game is called. Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe. We're a team that are pretty much down on their luck, and you need to pretty much build them up and get them to the top again. You see you've got options here. This just jumps onto what the fixture is, which we were just on. You can buy sort of stats and stuff. I'd recommend definitely doing some of that. So you can sort of choose between your defence, midfield, attack, substitutes, and obviously up their stats, or just maybe just the whole team if you want to sort of up the stats, which I think you probably should. At least you've got, I think, the top one here. You can go through your individual players and sort of up the part. Sometimes I actually just went to the attacker and made sure he was super fast. The centre forward, what one is it? I can't remember. Let's scroll back through. So I think it definitely helps if you're a little bit stronger and faster. That definitely helps through the game. And let's see if we can sort of spend money up in his stats a little bit. You can probably see the difference when you're in the game. That particular player moves a little bit faster than anybody else. Obviously don't really want to spend all my money on that. Let's maybe up the midfield a little bit too. So you got credits, and you see in the game there's actually coins, which you maybe should try and pick up in the game so that you can spend them on sort of improving your team. It definitely becomes massively important. Not in the first game, but maybe when you get to the second game, the teams start to get a little bit faster and it definitely gets harder. Right, okay, so let's just jump into the game. I'm going to be messing about here forever. So we're playing Pixel Perfect again, and obviously we're playing the blue team heading upstream. Ooh. And your sort of goal is to sort of obviously get this metal ball in the opposite goal. So it's kind of like football a little bit, come rugby sort of thing. Oh, they've just scored. Not a good start. There's lots of power-ups hidden about the field as well. You should sort of pick them up. Sometimes not though, because it might not be a great thing. There's sort of like freeze your opponents. That thing is quite cool. You'll get the coins spinning about. Ooh. You can sort of press the B button to slide and sort of attack on your opponent, which is kind of funny, and take them out. But what's missing in this game, I'm not sure where you can actually injure your actual opponents. I think I do remember in the Amiga version you can actually sort of injure your opponents and get a stretcher on. You actually get points for that, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure if that's in this version, to be honest. I've not actually played the Mega Drive version all that much, but I definitely remember it being a little bit slower than this. I think this is moving at a great pace. It's a pleasant surprise for sure. Oh, I'm not doing too well here, to be honest. I'm better than this. You can see at the bottom here you've got your score. I think it's 10 points for a goal. Oh dear, I'm getting absolutely hammered. Yeah, I think this game's definitely right off. Let me explain some of the rules then. So you can see at the side, if I can try and... This is a multiplier here. Multiplier, you can sort of put it up and it'll sort of up your score. Say now it was sort of, say if you score a goal you get 5 extra. If you put 2 up it's sort of 10 extra, so it doubles your score. So it's like 50% and 100%, which is quite cool. But you could spend ages, the player just wants to spend ages messing about here. You've got score multipliers at the side as well, which I'll try and get back to. I'll try to concentrate in that. So you see these stars, you can press them to get points. Just chuck the ball off them and you'll get sort of points added to your score, hopefully. If I can try and see. You need to hit them square dead on. Didn't work. And there's these sort of electrified at the side here, you can see them at the side. Those things right there, you can hit the ball off them and it sort of electrifies it, and then the opposite, you can sort of take out the opposition with them. And there's ones in the side, in the middle as well, which kind of are a bit similar. So maybe we'll probably restart again so I can actually concentrate playing the game rather than explaining the rules. So I can't really do two things at once. Anyway. Yeah, so match over. I got defeated. But I absolutely love this game. Obviously I've definitely done that pretty poorly. Let's have a quick bash. I'm going to actually change the ratio to standard, I think, because I'm not really sure it makes a heck of a lot of difference. Put it to original ratio to sort of make the screen a little bit bigger. I think I actually preferred it, just sticking it to original. Okay, let's try again, guys. We can do better. Concentrate more on playing the game. You need to be quite aggressive, obviously. It's an aggressive sport, so you definitely need to be aggressive. Constant sliding is the way, which is barging your opponent. Kind of interesting sort of playing this with the D-pad. It's kind of okay. I think these games were obviously originally on a joystick rather than a D-pad, and yeah, sometimes it does show a little bit. That's a bad thing. This D-pad seems okay, but it's definitely a worry if and the longevity of this D-pad, whether it lasts. But it seems okay. It seems good. Yay, that's better. So I slid in and took the goalie out and then put the ball in. Nice. So interestingly, what's missing? You've got some touches there like it's ice cream, ice cream. After they score a goal, which is also in the Amiga versions. There was a Game Boy Advance version as well, which I think actually had that, and it seemed that version was pretty good. Anyway, guys, I think we've played this enough. Why don't we move on to the next game? Great game, absolutely love it. Okay, guys, let's do the Speedball 2100. Now, this is the PlayStation game, and I think I definitely played it back in the day, but it would have been a demo that was on the PlayStation magazine, and I'm not really sure about it. It's like an upgraded version of Speedball 2, but I don't think they've made it better. We've got this interesting cutscene, I suppose, which is kinda cool, I guess. So they're making the ball, wow.
No crime, no war.
Interesting. I'll fast forward, you can watch that one in your own time when you get the cart. Interesting, the PlayStation logo there. Memory card even. Okay, here we go. We've got all the options. Game options, even a memory card option, which is kind of weird. So you can play 2-player on here as well, but let's just jump into a knockout single player game just to give you an idea of what the game is actually like. I mean, obviously it's Speedball, but I just don't think it's the greatest version. I think they've tried the best to sort of update it and make it a little bit more fancier, but I don't know. It just doesn't work. There's a few extra options here, but let's really just jump straight into the game. Let's go. So it's basically the same idea, but when we see the game, I'll start explain the issues that I have with it. I think the first thing that you can probably notice is that it's hard to tell what team you are. So I'm obviously the sort of orange team, but there's a lot of orange and browns here, so it's really difficult to say. And that handle's much the same idea. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think it works, to be honest. There's the ice cream. I think the game might actually grow on you if you want to sort of spend some time trying to play it, but I don't think it's the best version of Speedball. It's pretty hard as well, to be honest. And I've played a lot of Speedball and doing it, and I find this version actually quite hard. You can see all the sort of elements of Speedball 2 are there. I think they're obviously just trying to utilise 3D graphics, make it look better. But I think the colours are all very drab and sort of, I don't know, I just find it really difficult to tell who's who. It's not bad, I think it might grow on people, but I think if I was going to jump in and play a game of Speedball, it wouldn't be this one. Yay! Might grow on you. I mean, I think I definitely need to play it more. I've not played it enough, but it's difficult to accept this when you know Speedball 2 is actually better. I don't really remember this being massive in the day. Okay guys, moving away from Speedball, obviously this kind of feels like a Speedball kart, but there are two other really good games on here. And the first one is the Chaos Engine. Now let's have a look at that. Again, this was originally on the Amiga, Atari ST, and there was a Mega Drive conversion. I did have the Mega Drive version, which is a little bit different. I think it plays a little bit slower, so the version we have here is the SNES version, and I think this SNES version is actually really good. It plays a little bit quicker, I think, than the Mega Drive version was. This was well rated game back in the day. I definitely remember this. Pretty hard though, but it's a really top game. You can play this as a 2-player game. I think this is one of the games that would be really good as a co-op game. As you'll see, we just choose a couple of characters. And here we go, the forest. I think having a human player to help you in this would be really good, because the computer that plays the other character is pretty useless, to be honest. So you've got your fire, which is fine. So you can actually, if you see, you can use your shoulder buttons to sort of move your character as well, which is interesting. The shoulder buttons obviously don't get used very much, but you can use the left and right, and you will swivel about, which is, I think that's quite cool, quite helpful. Oops, that's not good. I do like this game, it's very good. Definitely need to spend more time on it. I don't think I was very good at this back in the day. I didn't get very far. If you guys have never played any of these games, then you're probably in for a treat, and I think that's probably what it's going to be aimed at. It's going to be aimed at fans that remember it, and maybe even new players that want to discover these for the first time. And I guess that's what Evercade's all about. And yeah, I quite like these games. Oh, I've died all the way back to the start. Great little game, but yeah, I think this one's definitely going to be better as a multiplayer, sort of playing with a friend. I think this would be brilliant. I think it's interesting that some of the games I've picked are 2-player games also. I'm pretty sure that would have been deliberate. We've got some extra weapons there. Yay, I like it. Special weapon. So that was pressed in the X button that sort of done that. Lots of nice touches here and there. It's pretty difficult though. I think you need to definitely take your time. Utilise those sort of swivel round like that. It's something you forget and you're stuck in the middle of a massive fight. Oh. So you can see the computer player is pretty much useless. That's cool. So that's the end of the first stage. You can see I really like that game. It's really good. Fantastic. Guys, I think we'll move on. I don't want to sort of ruin this for other players. You want to sort of see the later levels, but it's a really good game. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth stuck into that more. Okay guys, the last game is Xenon 2 Mega Blast. Again, I think this was another Amiga ST, Atari ST version, but this version we're playing is the Mega Drive version, and it ain't bad at all. Unfortunately, yeah, it's one of my least favourite type of genres, which is a shoot 'em up. But you can take your time with this and sort of be strategic. It's pretty good. Let's have a blast. So you can obviously move your ship back and forward as you see fit, and you've got your... You can obviously press the button to fire at your own rate, or you can just hold the button down and it'll fire at a slow rate like that, which is kind of cool. So yeah, the best thing to do here is probably pace yourself. Try not to rush through the levels, and you've got an energy bar, so it's not a one-hit kill. Which yeah, I'm all for that one. Doesn't make me better though. This is good fun. That's a good game. I kind of like this, even though it's not my favourite genre. I definitely like this though. I'm not very good at it. I can't really think of many shoot 'em ups that I'm good at. Still, top game. I think shoot 'em up fans are definitely going to love this one. Ooh, there's a power up. You can actually go back. Sometimes there's dead ends, which I think there's one up here. You can actually go back the way though. It's not a total dead end. You can sort of reverse. So don't go right here. Small tip. Go left, and you'll probably see in a second it's a dead end. You can't actually kill those things. Ah. Oh, I'm almost out of health here. Probably not a good idea to stay so close to the top. Stay in the middle somewhere and see things coming. I hate that those. Oh, damn. Yeah, apologies if I'm brutalising this a little bit and not being particularly great at it. You can sort of destroy them slightly, but it kind of just takes off one wee bit at a time. Ah! I'm so poor. Interestingly, you sort of get a little bit better. You can get some nice power-ups like this, so it looks absolutely fantastic. Great fun. But yeah, I'm not particularly good at these games, but this is good. I definitely like it. And it sort of rounds off the cart nicely and gives that little bit more variety to the cart. I think, yeah, pretty sort of summary. It's a pity that we don't have gods and magic pockets on here, which I think would be amazing. Maybe we'll see that in a collection too. I'm not sure. I think overall this is a good cart. If you've never played these games before, you might get more out of it. If you're a big fan of Speedball, I'm sure you'll love it. Apart from the fact it's not the Amiga versions, but what we've got here, it's actually pretty good. I quite like it. I'll certainly be playing it. I'm not sure how much I'll play it though, but it's fun. I definitely wanted to sort of get more stuck into the Chaos engine, and I'm sure I'll play a lot of Speedball too, for sure. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.